What's good? It's the Boxing Clinic. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy CJ Goodfella keeping it moving. And I was gonna do a video on that the Floyd Mayweather TMZ thing. We got heckled by a fan, and the fan was saying he was scared of Triple G. He said I ain't scared of Triple G or whatever. And Floyd made some comments in the past saying Triple G, no special effects, straight up and down. Canelo would do this to him. In light of, Triple G having three tough fights with people saying he was exposed, saying he was on the juice, saying he was getting old. It was just the simple fact that he stepped up in competition and starting to look ordinary now. He wasn't fighting those perfectly match-made guys that was tailor-made for him. Now he's getting into a realm of guys that got some versatility, or they got some properties or some skills that, don't mesh well for him. So then he got to go into his toolbox and use his mental and do something different. But, I'm here to talk about that, here to talk about the notion that, some fans really believe Floyd Mayweather could beat Gennady Golovkin at 41 years old. Absolutely not. Unless Golovkin comes down to 147, he's just straight dead, man. That's the only way that's going to happen. 154 to 160, whatever, 54 on up, Golovkin will kill him, man, at this point. It's just a simple fact of size and power and strength. Floyd can't move like he moved versus Carlos Baldomir no more. That Floyd is gone out the window. And for fans is crazy enough to think a 41-year-old guy can beat a 35-year-old guy in Triple G, who's a true middleweight, it's just crazy, And what people would probably argue, say, well, Oscar De La Hoya moved up, Trinidad moved up to 160, Roberto Duran did it. I say to that these guys had different body types, and a lot of those guys started off at higher weight classes than Floyd Mayweather and have different physical body frames than Floyd Mayweather, and that's true, and that's just being honest. When you start off at 135, 140, 147, whatever it is, you're naturally bigger. Miguel Cotto started off at 140, I believe. And he didn't want to fight Triple G at 160. It's just a really a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? When you want to move up and you actually got to move up to a 6 weight class, and when he's 41 years old, nobody else has been really done that. And I don't remember off the top of the head, but in quite some time. So I think it's a little bit crazy to ask him to move up and fight him. But if he did, and he could really move up and make that weight, which he said he can't go up to 160. If he could, he would. At 41 years old, I mean, the money for him wouldn't be right. You made $400 million, whatever you made versus Conor McGregor. And to come back to make, pennies versus anything he would make versus Triple G would be pennies at this point, in my opinion. So Triple G ain't a pull no more. He got some fans after fighting Canelo, but he ain't the pull that Conor McGregor was, Manny Pacquiao was. Guys like that. But if he was to come back, it'll be a tough matchup for him, man. What would be the strategy for him? Stick and move, head movement. But it's only so long when you're 41 before your work rate does drop off. He can't just keep that same work rate like he did when he was in his, 20s and early 30s no more. No matter how good a shape you are in. And he had injured himself in that camp for Conor McGregor. And he didn't spark for a month with his hand injury. He going around in there at less than 100% with Triple G at 41. He gonna get knocked out, Triple G is just simply too big. And I know people say, well, he's only 6 years younger than him. But Triple G ain't been in a lot of wars. He had some layoffs in his career due to promotional issues. And he ain't been in no type of war because he ain't fought nobody other than the last 3 fights. So he been taking it easy. So his body really don't have that wear and tear on it no more. But could Floyd do it? Probably so. Floyd probably could beat Triple G at this point. I would never doubt him for real. For real. I wouldn't, in my mind, I'd be like, okay, anything is possible. But I'm probably 99.9% sure Triple G will beat him at this point. I know people say, well, look at Canelo did. Canelo was a different type of a fighter. Even though his footwork did improve, but he's more heavier naturally than Floyd. That's getting back what I was talking about Trinidad, Duran. Duran used to walk around at 180 pounds and then, slice it all off and go back down to 147 to 140. 135, excuse me. So Floyd don't rehydrate that. He said he walks around at 150. I can believe him. So it's just different body types. So you want to, they're like, well, this guy, he jumped up from this weight class to 160. That's his body type. Because a lot of them guys, they drain themselves down to make a lot of those weights. Really squeeze themselves down. Really squeeze themselves down to make some of those weights. Duran was going back up to 180 and he came down to 147 to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. That's how, and for this rematch, you know, Ray Leonard was trying to stop him from gaining all that weight because he had the physical advantages. But in the long run, that hurts you. You know, I was listening to Brother Nazim talking about that. Guys that squeeze down the weight so long and really kill themselves to make the weight, in the long term, it kills the body and it hurts the body and it takes the fluid out the brain, causing brain issues when you're trying to drain your body that much. So it's better to fight closer to your natural weight because you won't have that wear and tear down the stretch of your career. You're going to be able to fight until your, you know, mid to late 30s and early 40s like Bernard Hopkins and Floyd Mayweather, because they always fought at a weight that wasn't hard to make. But once you use hard and you straining every time to make the weight, it's not healthy for you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Triple G just, you know, he'll cut the ring off. You know, eventually he's just gonna catch Floyd. That's basically where I can just jump to. Eventually he'll catch him with some good body shots in the head. And at this point, you know, Floyd's just too old to be moving around the ring like that, man. It just doesn't make no sense unless Triple G was just, you know, on Canelo's level as a star, on the Conor McGregor level as a star. It just wouldn't make no sense for him to jump in the ring to prove what? You know, you beat Triple G, they're like, oh, who do you beat? You know, for them to take away from what he has done. They always taking away from what he's done as a fighter. And I said when he retire or, you know, whatever happens in his career, you know, then that's when people are going to appreciate what he did. You know, nobody's career and resume has been more nitpicked than him, in my opinion. But if he beat, you know, Triple G, what does it do for his legacy? You know, it gives him another world title. But, you know, a lot of people still going to nitpick and say, well, Canelo beat him, well, Danny Jacobs beat him. You know, so at the end of the day, I mean, I would definitely pick Golovkin at this point. He's just physically too big and too strong. But, you know, Floyd said he ain't scared, but I know he ain't coming out of retirement to fight that beast. That beast is just, for this fight, it just comes down to size and being out of your weight class. You know, you got to stick to what's good for you. At 154, Floyd didn't look fabulous as well most of his fights. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, Triple G is going to go ahead and live his life, hopefully get the Canelo fight, right his wrongs, and move on and try to become the undisputed champion of the middleweight division. We gone.